storyline comes as England and Wales has seen an 80% increase in knife crime in the last 10 years.
According to a study compiled up to June 2024, there's been recorded over 50,000 police recorded offences involving a knife or a sharp instrument.
The same study highlights that there were 225 murders in the past 12 months in England and Wales that involved a knife or a sharp instrument. 78 of those murders were people under the age of 25, and 10 of those murders were people under the age of 16.
Hello, little brother.
Guess you got let out on a lack of evidence.
So Dylan brought the knife to the scene. He was helping Mason to go to his brother's, and he thought the knife was only there to scare his brothers off. Unfortunately, it ended up in Mason being stabbed.
You lying little... Get off him! Go get off!
So before we filmed it all, we had quite a lot of work with the Ben Kinsella Trust. So when we found out about the storyline, the production team put us in touch with a few charities, like we have done when we started the bullying storyline. So we did a bit with the Ben Kinsella Trust, and that was our main source of research throughout the storyline.
It's such an important thing to get right because we want this to have maximum level of effect. And in that, I think detail is everything. So I was researching a lot about being stabbed, as weird as that sounds, what that feels like. And you know, surprisingly, I saw a lot of reports, you don't necessarily feel the stab immediately. So it's like little things like that, and obviously in the script it said I had a collapsed lung and then my heart sac is filled with liquid. So I needed to know how to breathe and how that would be painful to breathe and how that would sound, and just to try and emulate it as close to life and actually do it justice, because this is such a serious issue. This is such just a pandemic across England and the UK, and it, you know, as close to life as we can bring this, we try to.
You don't have to research very far at the moment in the kind of society and our kind of generation and the generation below us. It's so common for people to be carrying a knife and to feel like that's like their only option. So you don't even have to research that far. Do you know, we're so used to seeing it in the media, and we kind of all said collectively as a three, even if it like stops one person carrying a knife, then it's done its job.
Oh yeah.
You were right. Oh, no!
I think soaps in general, you know, not just Coronation Street, their job now is to mirror society and to highlight these relevant issues. As bad as it is to watch at times, you target different audiences. So like this knife crime storyline predominantly is a target towards younger people. And like Luca said, it is a pandemic at the minute, and it's something that is on an all-time high. And I think that's the importance of soaps, is that it does it's relatable in good ways and bad.
Corrie it's everyday people doing everyday things, more real than a drama. You're more connected to the characters. You can identify more of real life in shows like Corrie, and I think for that, you know, I was shocked with the bullying thing, the amount of people that came forward, you know,
the scale that it went to.
Yeah, the scale it went to, and clearly it has an effect.
People seeing it on the screen, you know, we see it in real life, and it's good that we can kind of have that mirrored version and get it widespread and just highlight how important of an issue it is, because you know, we even talked about wanting to go around to schools, and you know, as I said before, if it can stop one person, then it's kind of done its job.
I think we found out in sort of March that this was going to happen, but to have the conversation of what it was, and we knew straight away coming out of the room of how big this storyline was going to be and how hard it was going to hit people, especially with the outcome that occurs. So excited, gutted at the same time,
Because you lost me.
But excited that we're telling such a, like we've said for previous questions, such a prominent story that's happening every day, unfortunately. So it was a privilege that we were trusted with that.
My initial reaction, I was excited because it's such a like you said, it's a privilege. It's a privilege to be a storyteller and ultimately have a chance at affecting a lot of people and making some change. They put so much prep into it that, you know, half the work was done for you. It was exciting, but also...
We had a great team, didn't we?
We did.
I was really happy that they were doing it. As awful as it is, it's something that needed bringing to light.
It's gonna be okay. Yeah, you're gonna be okay.
We talk about there's a lot of stabbings at the minute, and we see it in the media, but you never know how it feels until it hits you. So it'll shake the street. You know, it'll be awful as it would anywhere else. Unfortunately, this is where communities come together. It shouldn't have to take an event like this, but it does. So it'd be interesting to see how many people are affected and what comes from that.
When you see it in real life, it does invoke a sense of solidarity, which is sad and beautiful in equal measure.
In such cases of a tragedy, everyone kind of pulls themselves together a lot more, and you kind of get that realisation that life can be taken away so easily. Hopefully see a community come together and stop things like that happening, as we hope that the episode will too.
And a bit of peace in Weatherfield, maybe.
I mean, it is a soap.
Yeah,
so
yeah, well...
maybe not too much peace.
It's not just two lives. That's the thing. It's the family. All the people that cared about him. It's never just the person that held the knife. Or the 16-year-old who's dead in the ground. It's the people living in fear. Thinking they're next. It's the nothingness. The pain they leave behind. Because they're just kids, Sal. They're just kids. And they're dying.